Man, it's been a while since we've done one of these. Q&A is back. You know, I stopped doing these because I noticed that these videos would get significantly less views than my other videos, and I was like, man, are people just not interested in what I have to say? Do people not like the Q&As? But then I stopped doing them, and I got flooded with messages. Everybody in the comment section saying, hey, where did the Q&As go? So sometimes it's just hard for me to tell, do you guys like something? Do you guys like a series? So if you guys do like these Q&As and want them more often, I used to do them every Thursday. I'll go back to that. If you guys comment in the comment section below and let me know if this is actually something that you will watch consistently. But I just asked about a few hours ago, and I'm just picking the first few questions that come up. So guys, let's get into this. Alright, you know it's a good day when we have a sponsor. The sponsor of today's video is actually a sponsor I'm super excited to work with is Arret. Arret is a streetwear brand from the UK that has designs inspired by mixed martial arts. They have designs inspired by fighters like Darren Till, Paddy Pimblett, and so much more. The people over there were nice enough to send me a hoodie of my own. As you guys could see, you know, it says kill everybody. Like, seriously, I had no idea what these hoodies were gonna look like, but I was insanely surprised. These hoodies look dope as hell. Look, if you guys want to go check out their designs, which I really suggest you guys do, go hit the link in the description and use code JACK10 to get 10% off of your order. That means you're gonna help me as well as help yourself, because you're gonna get some dope ass merch while also getting a massive discount. But let's just get back into the video. First question, Wrath of Lust asks, do people still want to see Conor? Fuck Conor, lol. He acted like an asshole. Beat up the old man for not drinking his piss whiskey. No way he beats Chandler either. First of all, I will say I think Conor McGregor will beat Michael Chandler. I've been saying this for a while. I just think it's a really good matchup for Conor McGregor. Does Michael Chandler have the tools to beat Conor McGregor? Absolutely. I think he can. I think if he wrestles him early, then gasses him out that way. Plus, Chandler has knockout power. You have to be careful with this guy. If Conor gets caught, it could be lights out for him. Plus, Conor also is coming into this with a new leg injury. The odds of Conor winning his comeback fight should be pretty low, but I just think this is a good matchup. You know, you see Michael Chandler going there swinging like wild. However, to answer your question, do people actually care about Conor 100%? And I guarantee you, when we get to this fight, people are going to care. Like I said in my other video, you have the documentary coming out, then a couple weeks later, you got the Ultimate Fighter running through August, and the last thing that we heard was Conor McGregor is supposed to return in September. And if Conor fights in like December, we could possibly have like 8 months of Conor McGregor hype, and Conor is still a massive star. So yes, to answer your question, I do think a lot of people do care about Conor, and I think this actually might be one of his more successful pay-per-views. Next question, what are your thoughts on Abus Magomedov versus Sean Strickland? So I actually recorded a video talking about this fight, but because of the Ryan Garcia news and all of that, I had to kind of delay it. So I guess I'll just use this opportunity to talk about it now. Sean Strickland, man, fighting a guy that has one fight in the UFC, and that's not an exaggeration. Now, this guy debuted back in September, UFC Paris. He had a really good front kick knockout, and it was like one of the best debuts of last year. Now, does that mean I think you should fight number 7th ranked Sean Strickland? Absolutely not. But my explanation for why the UFC made this fight is, look, we all know that the UFC has to offer 3 fights a year, and if a fighter denies it, then their contract extends. So the UFC legally has to offer Sean Strickland a fight. It doesn't seem like there was any fights for him to take, so I think the UFC's thinking process was like, hey, let's give him this unknown contender. He'll most likely deny it, and I think Sean Strickland was just so eager to fight that he just accepted it, because there were talks of him saying, hey, he wants to go to 205 just so he could stay active and just so he could fight. Like, Sean Strickland really did want to fight. So to me, this is why the UFC is making this fight, and maybe he could have waited till like the end of the year and got an actual matchup. I think Sean Strickland just wants to stay active, and you can't blame him for it. Is Pavlovich this generation's Fedor? I will say, man, you know, we know that he does have a ground game. I've talked about it before with his sambo style. Now, we haven't really seen it in the UFC. I did show a video of him when he was a pro using his wrestling in a fight, but we haven't really seen him use it against other UFC fighters, nor have we seen any other UFC fighter test his grappling. Curtis Blades was supposed to be that guy, and other than shooting a takedown when he was hurt, we didn't really get to see Pavlovich's wrestling or anything tested. So I think we need to hold off on that, but I think he does have the potential to be a really talented heavyweight. Jake Paul versus KSI, who wins? I mean, to be honest, I think that this is a matchup that a lot of people are saying, oh, Jake. I don't think this is a lock for Jake, simply because I don't think he's all that good of a boxer. And I've said before, you know, fighting a guy like KSI who's so aggressive, that's sometimes harder than fighting a guy that actually knows how to box. However, it does concern me a little bit. KSI, he leaves himself open. I think he's open to that check hook. Jake throws the check hook very well. He rocked Tommy Fury with that punch. I'm gonna go with Jake Paul right now, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see if a KSI win does happen, simply because he's just so unorthodox. He's so weird to prepare for. Who's the best MMA fighter as of right now? The pound for pound #1 best MMA fighter right now for me is Jon Jones. I think he's the greatest of all time. I think if we're gonna have a pound for pound list of every single MMA fighter in every organization, I'd just still go with Jon Jones. I think his fight IQ and his preparation is next to none, and I genuinely believe that he could take out a lot of these heavyweights. Is Khabib the GOAT of the UFC. 29-0, beat Conor McGregor, Ally Aquinta, Edson Barboza, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, etc. It only has 1 to 2 rounds in his whole career. I don't think he's the GOAT of the UFC. I think, you know, you gotta give those titles to John Jones, Anderson Silva, GSP. And even if you're saying, hey, steroids don't count, you still gotta give it a GSP. And while I think that Khabib's most admirable attribute in fighting is his ability to finish, like we see a lot of good wrestlers not really get finishes, like he clearly is able to control his opponent, do whatever he wants with them. So I think that he's extremely talented, although he never did have that stand-up capability. And if we look at his wins, I mean, they're kind of dated. Justin Gaethje got finished in a round by Charles Oliveira. We saw Dustin Poirier struggle against Michael Chandler. While I do think that Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje are both high-level opponents, I'm just saying that now you're able to poke a hole through his legacy based on how other people beat them. And I do think that you have to give him the GOAT of the lightweight division. I would have liked to see him face off against guys like Oliveira or even Volkanovski. I mean, honestly, I think Volkanovski probably beats Khabib. Islam beat him at the end of the day because his stand-up was good enough to beat him. I'm not trying to say he's a better stand-up fighter, but it was just good enough to win those rounds when they were close. No offense, but Volkanovski would destroy Khabib in a stand-up fight. So that's what I'm just trying to say is, like, I think he should have stayed around a little bit longer. I get why he didn't, and that's all good. As long as he's fine accepting that people aren't going to call him the GOAT, I don't care. Then that's fine with whatever he wants to do. However, I just think that it's kind of dated now, and I think if he would have went on another year or two, I mean, maybe. And he also was never an active champ. Lots of things to poke through the hole of Khabib, especially half of his fights were against bums. Tons of things to poke the hole through of Khabib. Also never went up in weight. The list goes on, but no disrespect to Khabib. I don't mean to disrespect him, but just in my opinion, don't think he's in the GOAT conversation, to be honest, at all, honestly. Like, I don't think he's in the top 5, so I know it's gonna piss off some Khabib fans, but sorry. Do you think Conor McGregor beats Michael Chandler? And also, how's life? Well, thank you for asking. First of all, yeah, life is good, you know. I'm happy with the success of the YouTube stuff. And overall, just thanks for asking, man. You know, none of you guys ask how I am. You know, all you guys want to know about the MMA stuff. I'm kidding, guys. But let me ask the main question. Conor McGregor, does he beat Michael Chandler? I just talked about this in the beginning of the video. I think so. I think that Michael Chandler is just a little too reckless. Conor McGregor is one of the best counter strikers. I think this spells out a first or second round knockout for Conor McGregor. Yes, we've seen Michael Chandler be able to out-heart a lot of his fights and show that he has a lot of heart and has a good chin. Yes, he gets dropped a lot, but Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, they all weren't able to knock him out. I think to knock out Chandler, you're gonna have to find someone slick, you know? It's the shots you don't see coming that really hurt you. Conor McGregor is key at that. That's why Oliveira was able to knock him out. He hit him with a slick left hook. I think he's gonna hit with a shot that he doesn't see coming, and I think he's gonna get floored. And I like Michael Chandler, but I just think that's the reality, and that's how I see the fight going down. Final question. Who are your top 5 best combat sports athletes in your opinion? Have a great day. Oh, thank you very much. I'm not gonna say necessarily my top 5. I'm just gonna name a few on the top of my head, some honorable mentions, if you will. First person that is incredibly underrated, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna turn your heads and be like, what are you talking about? Anthony Joshua is one of the best combat sports athletes, simply because, dude, the guy has only known boxing for not that long. Like, before he was pro, I think he had like a couple years experience and then went to the Olympics. He's able to pick up the sport super fast. I've always had respect for Anthony Joshua for that. I mean, Merab is definitely one of the best right now. You know, you saw his performance against Petr Yan. Cardio machine. Max Holloway, another good cardio machine. Kamaru Usman, whether you want to say it's from a good old workout or something else, is a really good athlete. Adesanya, I mean, a lot of these top guys. Volkanovski is another one that I can name. Like I said, that's assuming that all these guys are off the sauce. You know, I think that a few of these guys, they're on something, but I have no proof. I'm not going to make any accusations. But I think that's going to conclude this Q&A. Like I said, let me know if you guys actually enjoy these. Leave it in the comment section below because it also helps with the algorithm. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I do want to stream a little bit more. I'm going to come out with a streaming schedule soon, so expect that within the next few days. Thank you guys for watching. You guys truly are the best fan base in the world. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.